Hey there, everybody. Clutch here. As you can see, I'm not on a Goldwing. However, I am in a Honda. This is a Honda CR-V. On our way to, well, eventually going to get to Arkansas. So, figured, oh, let's see if we can record a video, maybe. You know, I'm kind of bored and what the hell. Here in let's all speed like 1 mile per hour faster than each other mode. But yeah, it's fun and exciting going through Iowa. Yeah. Well, so first of all, this was supposed to be a Goldwing trip, but we had another, well, not so great trip the week before to Vegas. So that's part of the reason why I'm in the car. I just made the decision, like, you know what? I really don't want to deal with motorcycle on a long trip right now. I had my fill last week. So speaking of that trip, we're talking about, obviously normally this would be your comments and beer, but we're gonna make this a good, the bad, and the ugly about my Vegas trip. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the whole trip and how it went. Obviously there'll be videos coming up here in the next probably few months or so, kind of talking about the trip, so seeing what happened. But so you're kind of getting the answer before. So I guess bonus for you, probably 10 people that are going to watch this video, you're going to kind of find out what happens on the trip. But anyways, let's get into it. Now, normally you'd start with the good and work your way to the bad and work your way to the ugly. Well, this one we're going to start with the ugly. Well, the first thing ugly is the unforced errors by me. I did fork seals right before the trip and found out during the trip that, yep, the fork seals were put in backwards. So we had to actually, you know, have the shop redo them for us. So that was about a $500 error right there, or about $550. So we had to redo that when we were in Vegas. Fortunately, we found a place that could do it, and they did an okay job. I mean, I have some gripes with the finished product, but for the most part, they did a good job. Frankly, I was just happy I was able to get it in. But that unforced error kind of made it so pretty much Vegas there was no riding at all. Which, granted, it was really hot, so it was going to be an early morning deal anyway. But yeah, pretty much that shut down any of that. So we were kind of stuck to the strip the whole time. Which, I mean, there are worse places you're going to be stuck. But yeah, that was the first error in my. Let's see. I thought I had another error I made. Oh, the second unforced error I made was when I locked the keys in my trunk. And for those of you who don't know, GL1800 has a nice little button that opens the truck without unlocking the bags. And, well, I finally threw the keys in there when I was arranging stuff and closed the lid and realized immediately when I closed the lid that, yep, the keys were in there. And because I had that, oh my God, like, check all the pockets, and sure enough, the keys were in there. It's like, well, that's cool. So, two really big unforced errors on my part. But that brings me to my next ugly on that, which is in Las Vegas, Nevada, there wasn't a single person that could help me with that stupid frickin' trunk. Called my insurance company because I'm like, I have insurance, I can get a lockout done. Well, they contacted one locksmith. He called me, he's like, yeah, I can't do it, you're gonna need a locksmith. Like, okay, cool. So they go with a locksmith, and now that locksmith can't come for like 2 hours. Like, well, great. Well, in the meantime, my wife had found a motorcycle locksmith, and it's like, well, that's cool. And, well, until it wasn't, because it turns out that, yeah, that motorcycle locksmith that wasn't going to help me wouldn't even come down to the strip. So they gave me another phone number to call, and I called them, and they pretty much wouldn't give me the time of day. They pretty much said, nope, can't help you, sorry. Like F off. Like, okay, cool. Well, in the meantime, my insurance company called me back and asked if I'd been taken care of. It's like, well, no. The first one said they couldn't, and well, then the second one called me and they also said they couldn't unlock me. They're like, well, we're gonna need to take it to a shop. It's like, oh my God, really? Just like literally anybody who knows how to pick a lock. Like, I was to the point I was gonna go find, like, see if I could find a criminal at night and see, like, hey, can you come pop my lock for $50? And please don't shoot me or rob me. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. Fortunately, and we'll get into that a little later, we did find a solution. So yeah, that was probably the ugly of the trip. Okay, now the bad. There was very much a decent amount of that. First of all, well, actually, no, take that back. We're still on ugly. The Horseshoe. Don't ever stay there. Don't waste your money. That place is, well, it's kind of a dump. I mean, granted, it's one of the cheaper rates, and, well, there's a reason, because it's pretty much a dump. And the customer service isn't very good. You might be lucky and get a real person maybe a quarter of the time you go down to the desk, because they keep wanting you to go to the kiosk, which I know why. It's so they can just, feed you a load of crap, and you get so fed up you just don't even fight it anymore. Let me explain that hotel situation. So back in January, I reserved a king room there. So we get there, and we're going to check in early, and we'll go to do the early check-in, and they're like, well, we can do an upgrade. I'm like, let's just go with what the reservation says. Well, apparently that I don't know what happened there, so they told me what the rates were, because I didn't have my room ready yet. So I'm like, okay, well, what's it going to cost? I'm like, well, I'm going to go check to make sure we're good. So we decided heck with it. So we go and go sign in this time on the computer, and well, that king room that I had supposedly reserved, well, nope. It was all of a sudden downgraded for more at the queen room. For a 2 queen room. So it's like, well, at this point, like I said, it's perfect, because you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to spend another for an upgrade I already bought. So there was that situation. That first night we had a random knock at 10:30 from housekeeping that we never asked for, and honestly, housekeeping at 10:30 at night, that's interesting. I honestly think someone was trying to pull some shenanigans there. So, and the other thing with them is they couldn't produce a bill for me the whole time. Like, they could never, like, it was so hard to find out what your current charge was. You couldn't just log into an app and see it. Like lots of hotels nowadays, my God, you can turn on the TV and you have your current bill right there. Well, it was basically an act of Congress just to get them to show you a current charge bill at that place. Oh, and then let me go to the freaking pool. So the main reason I picked that hotel was because of this blue pool. It's the deepest pool in Vegas. It's like, sweet. Had some pretty good reviews on it. I'm like, well, sweet, that won't be so bad. And, well, we show up there and find out, oh no, when it's not between Memorial Day and Labor Day, it's only open on Friday and Saturday. Great. So you're telling me the reason I booked this hotel I can't go to. Awesome. Well, finally the day comes, and, well, you can't actually even go past the 5-foot line. They close the deep end of the pool with 2 lifeguards. Like a pool that's the same size as the one I swim at home, that 1 lifeguard can handle during open swim. They have 2 lifeguards, and, well, and I figured out really quick what was going on, as the 2 lifeguards were busy, as you expect, on their phone doing stupid crap. So cool. I tell you what, though, man, you get anywhere near that deep end, ain't look up. Like, so yeah, that was. I think that's all the ugly now. Now the bad. So you think Las Vegas hospitality, customer service, blah blah blah, and even the street people say it. That's a big load of garbage. They can learn a thing or two about hospitality, and just a simple, like, I don't know, don't be a jackwagon about things. Like, let's put it this way. Being a jackwagon is a choice. Being a you-know-what, a rear end hole is a choice. And, well, they choose that a lot. Just, the attitudes are absolutely ridiculous there. Like, I feel like I was on the East Coast. Like, you don't see that as much out west. Well, in Vegas, it's, I don't know, we'll call it freaking Boston, for God's sakes, because it was just attitude, nonstop. Just, and a lot of it just from the hotel in general, just the mentality of just F off. Okay, cool. So that was probably one of the bads. What else was there on the bad? Obviously you can't control this, but the heat was really bad down there. Like, bad for Vegas. Like, to the point they had a heat advisory, or a excessive heat warning in Vegas. Like, what's that tell you? That's how hot it was. It was even a little humid. I mean, just brutal days, the 106 to 108 range, just absolutely brutal. Like, didn't even want to go outside or nothing. And I understand it's the desert and it's hot, but that was pretty brutal for even the time of year we were there, which is kind of why we went with September, because it had that fine line between, well, it's not too crazy yet at home and maybe not as hot in Nevada. Well, that was a huge mistake. So that was probably another bad. Gosh, what else was there? Oh, and another hotel for the bad was the hotel we stayed at in St. George, Holiday Inn. It's on the north side. Actually, it was in Washington, which is just to the north of St. George on the way to Hurricane. And another one of those, just it was not good. It was a very bad hotel. Fortunately, I got the government rate, so I didn't feel so bad, but like the normal rate on that was like over $200, and I felt like I get ripped off at the government rate for like 110. So I'm so glad I didn't pay the full rate for that thing. So that was very disappointing. Just a disappointing hotel. Not what I expect from a Holiday Inn Express for sure. What else was there for the bad? Trying to think of anything else was there for the bad. Nothing really. I mean, that was, like I said, there was a lot of on this trip. So let's talk about some good finally. So first thing good was, well, no one died. So I guess we'll go with that. Like, it was basically right after I locked the keys in my trunk, I was pretty much at the point of like, well, I guess none of us had died yet. So there you go. There's something good on the trip. Now all joking aside, it's still, we had a lot of, there was still a lot of good. Zion National Park obviously was good. Actually, the shuttle they run in Zion, I think that's a really good idea. It made things, granted, yeah, you can't ride the scenic drive, but I tell you what, it kind of makes it a lot nicer. You ain't got the stress of trying to find a parking lot every time. Like, we got there way early. There's plenty of room to park, and so that was good. Very good. Like, scenic drive was good. I thought that park is just beautiful. Like, if you haven't had a chance to get the Zion, you need to get the Zion. I'd say it's easily a top, probably 5, pretty easily park in this country. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful there. And then the rest of Zion Park, like I said, that was absolutely great. Like, it was we had a really good time going through that. It was my second time going through it. My wife's first time, and we had a lot of fun doing that. That park was a lot of fun. What else was there for good? Well, for my wife's sake, she did pretty good at sports betting. She broke even on sports betting, while your boy here basically, lost $50 and then only made like $8 on his free play. So, but we're talking about the good. So my wife's pretty good at sports betting. So I was pretty impressive there. Her strategy is just kind of pick and go, and so that's kind of what we did. And like I said, it worked out really well for her. What else is good? Oh, the first place we stayed at on Saturday night going down, we stayed at the Staybridge in Lehigh. That was a very nice hotel, and I think we paid $100, and I think with taxes like $160, which for that being a hotel with suites and everything else, and like I said, it was a fairly new hotel. It was really clean, very well kept. The continental breakfast was really good, like a whole lot of good with that. So that was some good. What else was there that come out good from that trip? Oh, got to take a look at Able Baker Brewing again. So that was the second time I've been there, and I got a different colored duck this time, so I was pretty happy about that. And that place, I do enjoy that place. That's a really good place to go. If you're looking for a microbrewery and you're in Vegas, go check out the Able Baker. And also, if you're hungry, they do have some food in there too. What else? Oh, if you're looking for a good place to eat, so across the street on, I think it is not Flamingo, it's Tropicana. Across Tropicana Avenue. Or is it? I can't remember. It's either Flamingo or Tropicana. It's the one the horseshoe is on. So on that road, across the street from the horseshoe arcade and food court area is a little strip mall It's got a little kind of pretty sketch looking liquor store, but also in that shopping center is a little place called Batista's Hole in the Wall. It's a pretty good, it's a very good, oh God, I'm struggling with words here. It's a really good Italian restaurant. I mean, it's definitely spendy. It'll definitely cost you a buck or two, but it was very good. Like, it was $100 for 2 people. They charge you $20 to split a plate. So, but it was really, really good, and really good food. And even the free wine that comes with your meal was actually not too bad. So I was pretty happy with that overall. And here's the thing. It's not I don't like to spend money. I just hate spending money on crap. And I guess this could have been another thing that went in the ugly, but just spending an exorbitant amount of money on just crap food, you know? Like I said, I don't mind spending money. Just give me food that's actually decent. That I actually feel like, you know what? Like at Batista's. It was $80 before the day. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm good with that. I'm completely okay with $80 for that meal. But there's so much just garbage. You know, just charging you for absolute garbage. And it's like, well, what do you do, right? So anyways, I guess that's probably a good quick rundown of the good, the bad, and the ugly of the trip. I will say this, I don't know if we're going back anytime soon. I feel like we're kind of Vegas out. It also kind of made me kind of motorcycled out. Yeah, it was kind of it was just kind of a battle. I mean, it just kind of was. It felt like, I swear to God, I felt like we were the Griswolds there for a second. It was getting to the point of like, what's coming next? So, fortunately it's done. Fortunately it's over. Hopefully we got all that out of our system for, hopefully the next trip is better, because the next trip's going to be a pretty cool one. So hopefully we get all that crap out of our system. But I guess that's all I got for now. I will tell you this, we're definitely not staying at the Horseshoe again. We're not going anywhere near this place. I think next time it might be the Flamingo. We walked around in there, and actually didn't look like too bad of a setup in there, and they were one of the lower rate ones, and honestly it didn't look as bad as the Horseshoe did. So, and like I said, compared to the Horseshoe, I'd say anything's better than that. But anyways, that's all I got for now. But I'd like to thank you for stopping by the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. Once again, I'm Clutch, your host. We produce weekly motorcycle videos, and they come out every Thursday at 7 p.m. They come out at 7 p.m. Mountain Time every Thursday. If you're trying to figure out what Mountain Time is, just peg it off Denver time. If it's 7 p.m. in Denver, guess what? We're on. But also, when you subscribe to Sodak Motorcycle Blog, you can also hit a bell notification icon. It'll remind you of future videos and any other activity. But if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked the video, hit the dislike button. Please feel free to leave a comment. And once again, I'd like to thank you for stopping by. So anyways, for the Sodak Motorcycle Blog, I'm Clutch. We'll see you later.